Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC P0971, pertains specifically to the Honda Civic models from 2011 to 2015 and indicates a problem with the Pressure Control Solenoid C control circuit, categorized as a high-condition error. This code suggests that there is an electrical issue rather than a mechanical fault in the continuously variable transmission, CVT. The pressure control solenoid is a vital component that regulates fluid pressure within the transmission, aiding in the control of clutch engagement and the operation of valves. If this solenoid is not functioning correctly due to electrical issues, it can lead to improper transmission behavior and drivability problems. The location of the solenoid typically lies within the transmission assembly, making access complicated, often requiring removal of various components for inspection and testing. Before executing any diagnostic procedures, it's crucial to consult the general troubleshooting information pertinent to Honda vehicles to establish foundational steps needed for effective troubleshooting. The DTC P0971 error relates to an electrical circuit malfunction affecting the Pressure Control Solenoid C in the Honda Civic. This solenoid plays a crucial role in controlling the hydraulic pressure necessary for the CVT to operate efficiently. When the solenoid does not function as intended, it disrupts the transmission's ability to engage properly, which can affect shifting and overall vehicle performance. The solenoid is found within the transmission assembly, where it is closely integrated with the vehicle's engine control system. The malfunction often relates to high voltage conditions found within this circuit, indicating potential shorts or other connectivity issues. Importantly, this code emphasizes that the underlying issue is electrical, and mechanical failures in the transmission will not trigger this specific DTC. When troubleshooting the P0971 DTC, several potential root causes must be evaluated. Primarily, a shorted wire within the circuit is often the most likely culprit, suggesting that the wire may have breached its insulation or come into contact with a conductive area. Additionally, a malfunctioning pressure control solenoid can also trigger this error, particularly if the solenoid has failed internally or has become clogged. The Powertrain Control Module, PCM, can cause problems if it is running outdated software, which may fail to interpret the solenoid signals properly. Finally, issues with the connectors or wiring harnesses, such as corrosion or physical damage, can create high resistance or lost signals, prompting the DTC to trigger. Thus, a systematic approach to isolating these elements is essential for accurate diagnosis. The symptoms of a P0971 error signal various transmission-related issues that can affect a driver's experience. Owners may notice erratic shifting behavior as the transmission struggles to engage correctly because the solenoid cannot regulate pressure as designed. This problem can often lead to increased engine RPMs, particularly during transitions between gears, which can be alarming for drivers. Additionally, the overall performance of the vehicle may become sluggish, creating difficulty in acceleration and responsiveness. Lastly, the illumination of the check engine light serves as a clear warning sign to the driver that a fault has been detected within the vehicle system. Addressing this DTC promptly can prevent further complications, including damage to the transmission system. The first step in troubleshooting the P0971 DTC involves a verification process to confirm whether the fault persists. Begin by turning the ignition switch to on, which powers up the vehicle's systems without starting the engine, allowing access to diagnostic tools. Using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, clear any existing diagnostic trouble codes, ensuring a clean slate for potential re-triggering of the error. Once the DTCs are cleared, start the engine and allow it to idle for at least 1 second to facilitate proper initialization of the transmission control system. Next, check for both pending and confirmed DTCs using the HDS. If the P0971 code reappears, this confirms that a fault condition remains, indicating a structural issue that warrants further inspection. Should the code not appear, might suggest an intermittent failure. Thus, further investigation is crucial if any freeze frame data exists. In this second troubleshooting step, the focus shifts to evaluating the functionality of the CVT clutch pressure control solenoid valve. This component is critical as it manages the hydraulic pressure within the CVT system. Testing involves disconnecting the solenoid harness and applying power to verify that the solenoid actuates correctly. If the solenoid operates as intended, it points towards other electrical issues rather than a component failure. However, should the test indicate a malfunction, this would necessitate further steps to isolate the issue, allowing for targeted repairs or replacements. This methodical approach ensures that technicians do not mistakenly replace functional components and focus on the actual cause of the DTC. An accurate diagnosis of this step is vital in preserving the integrity of the vehicle's transmission system. The third troubleshooting step entails checking for a possible short circuit within the wiring harness associated with the CVT clutch pressure control solenoid line. To start, turn the ignition switch to the lock position or switch the engine operation to off mode to ensure safety while working with electrical components. Next, use the HDS tool to jump the SCS service check signal line. This action allows for a systematic inspection of the control circuit. Disconnect the solenoid wire harness at the 8-pin connector on the engine side and the PCM connector B, which has 51 pins. With these connectors removed, conduct a continuity test between the assigned test points, one corresponding to the solenoid wire harness and the other connected to a body ground. This check is crucial. Continuity signifies that the wiring is intact, whereas a lack of continuity indicates a short to ground present in the wiring, prompting necessary repairs before moving forward. The fourth troubleshooting step requires verifying the CVT clutch pressure control solenoid valve itself by assessing its electrical resistance. Start by disconnecting the solenoid wire harness to separate it from the circuit temporarily, allowing for an accurate measurement devoid of interference. With the solenoid disconnected, employ a multimeter to measure the resistance between the designated test points on the solenoid's 2-pin connector. Ideally, the resistance should read between 4.9 to 6.6 ohms, indicating that the solenoid is functioning within specified parameters. If the resistance falls within this range, the solenoid is likely operational, and attention should shift to examining the solenoid wire harness for damage. Conversely, if the resistance is outside this range, it is indicative of a faulty solenoid valve, necessitating replacement of the entire valve body to restore proper function to the transmission system. This careful analysis ensures that all potential failure points are thoroughly tested. After performing the necessary repairs or replacements associated with the P0971 DTC, it is essential to verify that the issue has been resolved. Begin by clearing the DTC using the HDS to reset the vehicle's diagnostic system. Following this, a test drive is crucial to assess the overall functionality of the transmission under normal driving conditions. Pay particular attention to the shifting behavior and responsiveness of the vehicle, ensuring no symptoms of the original error reappear. Monitor the check engine light. It should remain off if repairs were successful. This exhaustive verification process confirms that repairs were performed accurately and the vehicle returns to optimal performance levels. It is essential to keep records of the diagnostic codes observed both prior to and after repairs, for future reference. To mitigate future occurrences of the P0971 DTC, proactive preventive maintenance becomes crucial. Regular inspections of wiring harnesses will help to catch issues such as fraying or corrosion before they lead to malfunctioning solenoids or errors. Ensuring that the software running on the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, is kept updated will enhance performance, as manufacturers frequently release revisions with improved functionalities for monitoring and control. Additionally, routinely checking the connectors for any signs of damage or integrity loss can prevent connectivity issues, which often trigger diagnostic trouble codes. By implementing these preventive measures, vehicle owners not only extend the life of their transmission systems, but also enhance overall drivability, leading to an improved ownership experience. In conclusion, the DTC P0971 for the Honda Civic from 2011 to 2015 reveals significant electrical issues affecting the Pressure Control Solenoid C. Recognizing the distinction between mechanical and electrical faults is crucial for accurate diagnostics. Following a systematic troubleshooting approach assists technicians in isolating the problem effectively, ensuring they address the actual root cause rather than surface symptoms. The verified steps laid out involve verifying the DTC, testing critical components, checking continuity of wiring, and measuring resistance values. Lastly, frequent preventive maintenance can significantly reduce the risk of recurrence, maintaining optimal performance of the vehicle's transmission system. By understanding the complexity of these systems and following the recommended guidelines, owners can enjoy a smoother driving experience while prolonging their vehicle's lifespan. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.